Welcome, everyone. You have now entered the cosmic radio receptors of KCIW 100.7 FM in Brookings, Oregon. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's fantastic program. I am Dr. Gigi, and my co-host is, as always, Jacques Kepner. How are you doing today?
I'm doing finer than a 49er. Welcome. You have entered the new cosmic radio receptors of... Oh, that's your line. I'm fine. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Doc and Jacques Radio Variety Show. Special thanks to sound engineers Tom Bozak, Ray Simon, Linda Bozak, who's outside listening in, and others that I will mention in just a moment. You are hearing this live syndicated show on KCIW in Brookings, Oregon. That said, the same syndicated show will be rebroadcast in exactly 1 week from now on KZZH down there in, Eureka and Arcata. They're at 96.7 FM. And then a few hours later at 1 p.m. on my old alma mater, KFUG, 101.1 FM in Crescent City, California. So we think it's being played. Mm-hmm. So now you know, Dr. Gigi and I have your coast covered. Now, in addition to today's regularly produced live audio radio broadcast, a certain wizard of the studio, namely Top Gun Michael Gorse, is now fully documenting each and every show by videotaping the Doc and Jacques Show. So now you get to watch as well as hear all the action that is going down on this popular syndicated radio variety show. Michael Gorse, a big ovation to you for providing such an invaluable and a wonderful new aspect to this show and others like it on KCIW. Thank you, Michael, and you are a dynamo. Okay, it's that time when good medicine and health tips are presented by my German medical doctor, who happens to be a patent-holding scientist and a university professor. Yes, indeed. What medical marvels do you have for us today and on this week's health segment of Dr. Gigi, MD?
Well, today we will be discussing the heart. The good, the bad, and the ugly of our miraculously working organ.
Oh, I can hardly wait. Hey, speaking of hearts, doctor, I have the heart of a lion. And I also got a lifetime ban from the zoo. Darn it. Okay, what else do you got to talk about?
Well, so I talk about the bad and the ugly. Some patients receive the diagnosis of heart failure. And many of them, the patients, are devastated as they believe their days are numbered. So I want to explain and explore the diagnosis some more of heart failure.
Well, my favorite heart day is Valentine's Day, of course.
Yeah.
Where you get cheaper chocolates and pricier medical bills.
Heart failure is a chronic condition where the heart cannot pump blood well enough to meet the body's needs and is classified in several ways, and that guides the treatment. Management usually combines lifestyle changes, medication, and sometimes devices or surgery to improve symptoms.
Hey, did you hear about that really crazy guy that streaked through his church last Sunday? Did you hear about that?
No. What happened?
Yeah. They caught him by the organ.
Good.
Our guest is shaking his head.
I will discuss the two main groups of heart failure.
Okay.
There is the main pumping chamber of the body, which is the left ventricle, is weak, and the ejection fraction, how much can be pumped out, is 40% or less, meaning only 40% of whatever is in the left ventricle can actually be pumped into the aorta or to our brain and body. And this is called systolic heart failure.
Oh.
Or more recently, we call it heart failure with reduced ejection fraction.
So when you take your blood pressure, you get systolic and diastolic, or what?
Yeah, we get the systolic and diastolic pressure, correct?
Well, I found that a donut a day keeps the doctor employed.
There's a group of heart failures that have a left ventricular ejection fraction of 50% or more, which happens to be normal. If they have heart failure, then it's called the heart failure with preserved ejection fraction. This can happen when the ventricle is stiff and does not relax properly, so filling is impaired and so therewith abnormal, or when the heart is too relaxed and the left ventricle balloons out and holds too much blood. which is also abnormal, right? Then this is called diastolic heart failure.
Diastolic.
Or heart failure with preserved ejection fraction. And now we have video, so my hands movement kind of makes sense.
How cool. Dr. Gigi, when I first saw you, my heart murmured.
Is that a joke or is that a
It
statement?
was supposed to be a joke, darn it.
Okay.
All right.
Most heart failure types are associated with symptoms such as running out of breath with only little exertion, leg swelling, and or wet cough. You cough up stuff.
If laughter is the best medicine, then my cardiologist is out of a job. Okay, these are all bombing on me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry about that.
Sorry. It's not very funny, but okay. Where are we? Okay. Treatment, as I said before, is directed toward the shortcomings of the heart. So if the heart cannot pump strongly enough, then we actually give blood pressure medication so the blood pressure is lowered so the heart doesn't have to pump so strongly
Against that extra
against
pressure.
that pressure. Yeah. Cool, right?
Yes, everybody used to laugh at me when I told them that I was going to become a comedian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, they aren't laughing now.
because you're medications that slow the heart rate give the heart the chance to get its own oxygen and nutrients and not just pump the blood into the body. And that's why we give beta blockers, which is another one for heart failure. If the heart needs more help to actually pump, then we give them other medications that strengthens the heart muscle and pumps, and it can pump more forcefully.
Cool. Dr. Gigi, you make my heart skip a stent.
Do you have a stent?
No.
It's a joke.
Yeah, that's another one.
All right, so if there's too much blood volume for the heart to pump effectively, then the water pill, the diuretics, will be used. And yes, that means you have to go pee a lot because that is how we safely get rid of too much fluid, which accumulates in the blood as plasma.
So you're in trouble, right?
Yeah.
I told Dr. Gigi that every time I look in a mirror lately, I get sick to my stomach. She informed me that my eyesight was perfect. Good, I got her to laugh.
More recently, some
Yeah.
diabetic medications, they're called SGLT2 inhibitors, have shown to be very beneficial in heart failure patients. They actually have been approved, FDA approved, to be taken as such. This medication causes us to urinate out sugar, glucose. However, we're not peeing out dry glucose, so that draws the water, and we're peeing out more fluid. So we don't actually have to have a real diuretic. Usually it's an additive, but they work hand in hand to get rid of more fluid. Oops, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, table.
That your heart has to pump around in the body? I mean, fluid.
Yes, if you have less fluid, then the body has to pump around less fluid. So I'm talking about the plasma, right? The plasma fluid.
Gotcha. Well, Dr. Gigi told me that I had acute appendicitis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, is it any better than an ugly one? I mean, acute or?
Ugly.
Okay, not so good. I tried to look up impotence on the internet, but nothing came up. Oh, man. Nobody's laughing.
All right.
I'm looking at the whole staff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that interesting chat about the heart and heart failure, dear Dr. Gigi.
course.
All right. It is almost 10 minutes after the hour. Today's guest is no stranger to the Doc and Jacques radio and now videotape show, thanks to Michael Gorse. In fact, James DeBottis has joined us in the studio for at least 3 times in the past. Mm-hmm. He is very entertaining. He's focused and super talented. He's an artist and a man whom the doctor and I call friend. And stay tuned because he is going to be playing some wonderful music near the end of the show. So, without any more verbiage from me, let's catch up what's going on in the world of James DeBottis, or JD, and find out some exciting things about what he has planned and what he is bringing to our beautiful coastal area. So with that, JD, welcome to the Doc and Jacques radio show.
Welcome.
Thank
Thanks
you for having me,
joining
guys.
us.
Yeah,
Yes.
we got it.
Woohoo! We're going to be in for a treat, as we
Yeah,
found out in the pre-show, right?
That's that's what you say.
That's what we
It
hope.
was good. It was good.
James, do you go by James? You only go by JD,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people started calling me JD because I started my like production company and like the JD Drums moniker when I came to town with the idea of like hopefully like making drums and painting drums and like kind of having a business with that and not necessarily thinking of it as like an artist name long term. And now people in town just call me JD, so it's kind of funny. I'd never gone by JD before I came
Jack
here,
Daniels,
but it works out.
Jack
I like it
Daniels?
just fine though. It's
Yeah,
cool. With
sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, somebody else here is called James. He doesn't go by James either.
Jacques.
No,
No,
where
there's
were
like 6 of us in town. There's a lot of Jameses. We got
Hey, I changed my name from Jim to John, so now I just tell people that I'm going to the gym. Or was it just the opposite?
Oh my God.
talking to yourself.
The opposite way. Okay, I'm backing out.
So-
Perfectly normal.
JD, where were you born and raised?
I was born in Lansing, Michigan. I was raised mostly in Portland, Oregon, and thereabouts, and within kind of a 20-minute area of that, on the Washington side of the border and on the Oregon side of the border.
Nice.
So when did you come over here?
I guess it's been closer to 4 years than 3 now. I guess it's hard to keep track of it, to be honest. It feels like much more time has gone by just because of all the things that have happened and all the relationships that have been developed. It's like, it feels like I've been here for 10 years.
One of the
so.
biggest one was your marriage, right? And
Oh, I mean, that's the big
how is marriage treating you?
amazing. Yeah.
Cool.
As good as I ever could have hoped it to.
Right. Priscilla's a very, very nice lady. Now tell us how you met her. I love the story.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was on tour with a band called Sweet and Juicy. They come through on a pretty regular basis. So,
Yep.
go see those guys when they come through. But my wife was already a regular watcher of theirs whenever they came through town, and she could see them. She would go see them. And so she noticed when I walked in that I was a new member, obviously, and hadn't seen me before. I guess the year before they had another drummer, and I was like the 5th one or something. So they'd been through a few. And so she comes over and says hi to me, and we end up hanging out that night. She offers the band a place to stay, so we end up staying over, and then we had lots of time to talk, get to know each other, everything. One thing leads to another, and we end up getting into a relationship over the next, series of months. She came to see us all the time, traveled to us whenever she could. Like, she put in a lot of effort as well, which was really cool. So that was like a huge part of it. And then she puts up with my constant nonsense. I'm a true blue musician where I'm like
You are
lost without music, so she helps with the rest of it.
You knew that was going to happen, though, the second you saw her, right?
I mean, yeah, it literally was one of those things. It was like instant like interest and attraction, and then also instant fear, because I was like right in the point of my life where I was not looking for anything, did not want anything, and I think she was kind of same. So
Yeah.
And for sure, like when we decided to get married, I a huge thing for her, I'm sure, because I don't think she wanted to at all. Had already kind of convinced herself it wasn't going to happen, or what, just didn't want it to happen. And I was kind of in the same boat. I was like, well, guess I'll just be a vagabond musician and tour about the country for, free willy. But it wasn't like going to work out like long term. I knew that. And like not with the band that I was with, because they're cool guys, but it's just in the general sense of me constantly being on the road, not being able to set any ties anywhere. And so when I came to this town, my idea was like, what can we do to set ties in the community? What can I do to help other bands, reach a new level? What can I do? We started a production company with me and Keith Roberts, my partner. We run, open mic, as you guys know, and we have karaoke at South Beach, Port-au-Prince, and Crescent City. Like, we're trying to expand as much as possible.
So you brought your guitar, and you came here with the JD drum thing. So what was your first instrument you actually have been playing?
Drums was definitely the first, and I was already doing it, professionally, so to speak, like on the road or in the studio by the time I was like 12 years old. And so I had a family that was in it. It all just made sense for me to go that direction. But that's the only thing I'm naturally talented at, is the drums and rhythm. Everything else was like a painstaking, like one step. I started playing the guitar with an acoustic guitar flat on my lap with my thumb, and like it was the most awkward looking thing. And then eventually my bass player came up to me. He's like, "Hey man, tilt that up. Yeah, why don't you play it like this?" Showed me a couple of tricks, and then I just took it from there. But I've been playing for 10 plus years now on guitar as well, and bass. And
so what else do you play? How many instruments do you
fluently, I would, if it was like speaking another language, I would say guitar, bass, drums, and I guess vocals now. Keyboards I use sparingly because I taught myself how to play them. I don't know how to read the music, so I don't know the theory behind keys. And it's kind of ironic, like the band named Black Keys, you know, that's what I thought of when I saw a piano was the black keys, not the white ones. So I realized all of the black keys are in tune with each other.
Yes.
Just naturally. So I was like, find the white keys that are in that key that match those up and they don't sound bad together. And then I kind of memorized those patterns and sort of had a base to go off of. And now I've learned a couple variations and how to go into blues or classical or whatever from that being the basis, but I couldn't sit and read a sheet of music.
So can you read music? You say
No,
not
I
for a
taught myself how to
guitar?
play everything like from the ground up, as if I was like in the middle of the forest and had never heard anybody else play. And then YouTube was a huge thing. I'm luckily in that generation where I was watching it before people were monetizing it, and it was like brand new to the internet. So the only thing that was on there was like fan videos of musicians, and I just kept typing in who's the best drummer in the world, you know, who are the top 5, top 10 drummers in the world, whatever. And I just found their bands, learned every song that they ever did, learned all the skills that they had, and assumed, cool, now I'm as good as them, right? So it should just produce like money out of nowhere, right? But it doesn't work that way. So I was on the road for a long time before I realized that there's a lot of other ways that you can make money in music and still have ties and, you know.
So if you were on an island, not having
Deserted island.
on an island, not having to think about money, deserted or not, what instrument would you take?
You can only have one?
Yeah.
Oh. I guess it has to be drums because nothing physically or mentally gives you the feeling of playing drums, whether it's in front of people or not. Like playing on a huge drum set where everything is exactly how you like it, and it's also an art piece, right? There's all these cool different types of stands and racks and things to make it look like a big octopus type structure or something. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, some of these bigger kits, and that's what I'm accustomed to. It's like a bigger rock style kit for the visual aspect as well, but also just you have more options. The more things you have to hit when you're a knowledgeable drummer, the more musical opportunities there are.
I think it's the hardest.
You
got to have the beat.
If you can't do the separation, you got to have right hand, right foot, left foot, and be able to separate all the time. So.
Yeah, and you've already said you don't read music, which I don't read music anymore. I haven't practiced since my flute days.
You know, what's funny though is most of my favorite musicians also don't read.
We ask everybody.
That's what we
ask
like some of the best in the world. Yeah, it's not necessary. I'm not a classical musician. I don't plan on being a part of an orchestra or anything, so it's not necessary for my line of work.
Right.
But it's very helpful if you are a young musician and you want to learn. I still suggest learning it if you plan on being a session player. Or you want to go to, somewhere like LA or something like that and go work with the pros. Like you will need to know how to do that. So.
Yep. Hey, coming back to open mic at the Oxenfree in Brookings, Oregon, how is that going and how long have you been doing that now?
We actually just hit our 1-year anniversary. Last night was the to the day 1-year anniversary. We're doing kind of a series through the whole month where we have some featured artists that have been with us from the very beginning. Last night was John Canlin. He's awesome.
Ukulele John.
Everybody loves Uke John.
Did he play? Hey, what do you say? Dop, boop, bop, doop, bop, bop. Hey,
I think so.
Yeah. And girls get up and okay.
That's good times. Yeah.
All right. So you've been doing it a year. Congratulations. That's a big thing. It's Tuesday nights from what time to what time?
You can come in and sign up at as early as 7:30. We're there about 6:30 to kind of load in everything because we bring the full shebang. And we got dual monitors now, like visual monitors. So if you want to do karaoke tracks or whatever, you can totally do that. We bring the same karaoke setup that we would have at Porter Pint. So you get, full vocal range, and we have effects for everybody and stuff. So we make you sound real nice. And
where are you on the stage? You sit behind, back in the...
Yeah, we kind of have like a little table next to the window that we kind of take over for the sound.
Oh, yeah, I know where that little table is. That's cool.
Yeah.
So for all of you naysayers that says there's nothing to do in Brookings after 8 or 9 o'clock, stand corrected because James and Keith are putting on their show. What's the name of your production company?
JDKR. So it's just my initials and his initials.
It's all over. It's all over the internet, right? You can find it anywhere. And they put this show on Tuesday nights. And what time did you get out of there last night?
Last night we went till midnight, and it generally goes till about 11, just because it's really up to the people and the bartenders. We want to be respectful of what they want. So
yeah, that's right.
So it's the same show that you also do down in Crescent City at the...
Essentially, the karaoke portion of it. But
you got a lot more room.
You can bring out your instruments. We have people that come up and play, and then we always have a featured artist that plays an instrument or sings or whatever their thing
is that here? This is here every week in Oxenfree,
at
down
and
at
then
Port-au-Prince,
Crescent
South
City
Beach.
is South Beach location. They're the first and third Friday of every month. We're doing
twice a month.
karaoke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very
What's the
cool.
best thing about hosting an open mic night? What do you like the most about it?
I just like hearing different people play different types of things, and like sometimes you will get a new person that you haven't met yet, or somebody that you've seen maybe online but you haven't got to see them play in person, and they'll come through and just hang out with you for the night and play, and you get just blown away by these, hidden talents all over the place.
Right on.
So
yeah.
this town is really good for that, and
Right.
although I might not be the biggest like acoustic player or necessarily be into things like country or whatever, like I can still appreciate all of it, and I still like the sound of all. I have nothing against any of it. It's just like not what I physically can play. So it's like I think a lot of times people think just because I play rock stuff a lot or I play like hip hop DJ sets and stuff, like that's the only thing I'm into. But it's like no, I love jazz and fusion, and I love doing it. It's just like I can't.
Hey, if I wanted to get up there and just totally get everybody laughing by doing my fantastic comic,
That's- we have
do you
witnessed,
allow me to
yeah.
get up there
Oh,
and
of
spend
course,
3
yeah.
minutes and
Yeah,
do a
we
comedy routine?
We love having comedians come in. Willie Mack has started coming back in, and he's really cool. He was sick for a while and had to get out of doing comedy, so he's been doing it. And then we have like some guys from Crescent City that come up that are always good sports, and they do their own comedy events all the time up there anyway. So
Wow,
they're
cool.
they just want more things to do.
So if you're a musician, how many songs can you play?
We tend to do like about 3 a piece, whether you're singing or playing, just in a rotation. But you can also go multiple times throughout the night. And then let's say it's a super slow night or something. We only have 3 or 4 musicians the whole night. Like we can fudge on it. We're not like hard and fast with it or anything, or not strict like to the point of we want everybody to be happy, but we also want it to be fair. And then sometimes we have 20 people that sign up throughout the night, and we have to kind of get through it. So that's
So we heard you sing, and Keith was
In
it
Crescent City and
In
Keith,
Crescent
yeah,
City.
both of you.
I think you're thinking probably of Bobby.
Was
Well, was it? Well, he's
Bobby's
the guy that
our
plays
other-
at Antidote. Who's the guy?
Keith doesn't sing.
Oh.
He's
okay.
yeah.
Wait.
Whoever
would
sang
tell-
with you.
Our friend Bobby always helps us out.
Oh, okay.
He's my
All right.
commandant for my
Okay.
hip hop music.
Bobby,
stuff.
good
But he's
Bobby.
a great
Oh,
singer as
Yes,
well. Yeah.
you both
Big,
sound
deep,
real.
jovial
You never
voice and-
sing in any of your bands, right?
I'm kind of starting to now. I just joined a new band called Dog Park Monday. So I'm just starting to play with them
Wait,
now.
What?
Oh,
Oh,
What?
yeah. Oh,
You're the drummer of Dog Park?
I don't know if I was supposed to announce that.
Oh, my. We're
So, yeah,
good friends with the
started-
harmonica.
Yeah, we
Veronica,
started. Yeah, dude, Veronica, Scott,
And Scott. and
Alex, the bass player. He's such a cool dude.
He's Mr. Mellow. Yeah, he's
Oh
so
yeah,
cool.
like it's funny. I was telling my wife about that. He's like he doesn't say much, but just the interactions we had, it's really cool for him to open his mouth and actually be like, "Man, it's cool playing with you," And I'll just be like, "Man, you've said like 4 words."
I agree with you.
You know what I mean? Like, that's
I go
cool
out of my
here.
way. I go out of my way to come up to Alex. You're hitting it
He's
all
so
right.
cool.
He is a good guy, and he's maybe the Charlie Watts of,
Yeah.
And he's just a quiet guy.
It's a good thing though. It's a great dynamic. We all communicate well, and just when we've only played together twice now in a full rehearsal situation, and we've already gotten through
Wow.
what would have
Well,
been more than half a set on a show. So
It's the feel good group that we really like. It's the dance songs.
and interesting acoustic
Sing along.
style versions
Yes.
of a lot of stuff, which is
Right.
cool. And then we're talking about having me do. I'm doing backups on a lot of stuff already, so that's kind of a vocal introduction. But they're
Ooh.
now talking about having me do potentially some leads for things as well. So that'll be fun. I want to do like a Stone from Audio Slave or something like that.
Right.
Oh,
man.
So doing backup, you have to be able to harmonize. You hear that?
That's essentially, that's what I'm trying to, and that's kind of what I'm the best at, is just identifying like what note they're already singing and what note would go along good with that, or what run would go along good, It's-
Sometimes is it Scott?
yeah, Scott,
right? He does. He
Yeah.
harmonizes too.
I think Alex might get in there a little bit eventually, doing like what we call gang vocal, which is kind of just when you all yell together to, there's a lot of haze and
All together now.
oohs and ahs and stuff.
Good dance music, right? That's what
yeah.
Dog Park Mondays is all about. That's
We did like what was it? Was it Spirit of the Radio, or it was a Rush tune? It was so fun.
Huh.
I hadn't played it. Oh no, Closer to the Heart. Yeah, and he has this like
Close.
pedal board on the floor that he hits with his foot to trigger like the bell sounds and all those parts in the middle there. So it's like, and he does it on a bunch of songs too. It's these awesome high quality sounds, and he's playing it with his feet while playing the guitar.
Wow.
It's so impressive. So
Let's go back to your company. You
Yeah.
have
JDKR
that
Productions.
is your production company. Tell us about it.
essentially we just wanted to cover everything live sound related. So the karaoke sort of came about because we're opportunistic people and we just see that that's what people seem to be into now. So we said, hey, we got an awesome sound system. Let's get some monitors. And we, Keith came up with these cool like boom arms that come off of our speakers. So we don't even have to have like ugly stands or tables or anything. It's all very nice and compact. And I think it's a really good setup that we have. And then on top of that, we have the ability to do like big outdoor events if we want to. We have the ability to do, I would say probably like half a football stadium or like big football field worth of people, just because we have huge outdoor like sound system plus all of our other equipment and everything a band would need to come and do a big live production. So if we had a bigger band come through town, or we throw our own festivals in the summertime,
Right on.
So you're open for business.
Totally, yeah. If people want to hire us for anything from a birthday to a wedding to whatever, it doesn't matter to us.
Where do they go?
You can go to Facebook. We actually have a JDKR separate Facebook for our business accounts, and
That's how I know.
then that has our emails, contact numbers. You can always go to JD Drums, Facebook, Instagram, any of those, and then same thing with Keith Roberts. He has his own personal. So just get a hold of us any way you want. But there's not much that we can't accomplish. And then if we need musicians for things, we're all a big family in
Right.
town as far as that goes. So
You answered what you're already into with Dog Park Mondays and all of our friends there from Veronica and Scott and Alex. But they only do covers, right? I mean,
generally, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think that they're really talking about doing originals or
Okay.
anything like that, which is totally fine. I like doing both.
yeah, you do a lot of original stuff. I mean, again,
Most of what I play is original as far as my guitar stuff. I've been starting to write some more like acoustic, more singer-songwriter-esque stuff that I'll be happy to play for you guys soon if you guys
do you
want
do
that.
any studio time? Have you done studio?
Yeah, it's just one of the things we've been really busy on is finishing up the second studio album with me and Bobby, who we were talking about.
Yeah.
He has his rap moniker, which is Demonize. That's his thing. And so I pretty much just do JD because it's easy. But essentially, like, I make all the music and the production and all the recording stuff, mixing, mastering, all that jazz, and give him kind of like the ability to put his input in, how he wants things organized, yada, yada, to where we get the song exactly how he wants it. He can write really good lyrics to it, and he writes very
Right.
meaningful, poetic, like deep. So even if you're not into hip hop or rap, I think that it's interesting and different enough from everything else out there that it's like worth.
Give me your take. This is off script, but give me your take on AI because it's so simple now. So from what I hear, what I see on Facebook, and what I see on the internet, is it's pumping out songs in 1.4 seconds.
Yep.
You put
can
in the
type in a
lyrics.
prompt and it will give you a full lyric spread or a full song, or you can type in a style. There's programs specifically tailored to that. And the reason it's not a problem is because you can't copyright as a person anything from AI is that it pops out a completely finished product. The only way that you can copyright something that has been AI assisted is if you still alter it yourself, create your own, you
Right.
can't just
You can
type it
start.
into the computer and then send it to the record company and say, take this song.
I mean,
And then they also started to separate the charts now because we did have an AI
Right, winning.
artist get through.
Yes.
So literally, what was it? Like a week later, we have regulations in place now to separate that.
Unbelievable.
So there'll be AI charts and there'll be human
That's
charts,
cool.
writers,
which is only fair. That's only
writers,
fair.
book writers. AI's writing them. Movie scripts. They're writing movie scripts. I've heard.
See, that I have less of a problem with because that's more of a prompt. Maybe not a book, right? That's profits because that's
Yeah.
who no one person should profit. If it's going to be profit, go to the charities or
If
something.
you change,
But
it
if you
around,
do it to a movie script or something, then you still have to have actors come and physically
Yeah.
play out the thing that was written.
Wallace.
And you can alter it from humans to, you
Yeah.
could just give it a prompt and give kind of a loose structure. Those kind of things I don't personally have as much of a problem with, but I do see how it's a slippery slope.
All right, we have to stop right here because it's that mid-break time, and time does fly when you're having fun. I can't believe it's already half past the hour. Here, you're listening to the Doc and Jacques live radio show, proudly broadcasting from the KCIW 100.7 FM studios in lovely coastal Brookings, Oregon. The list of major sponsors for our community radio station: Advanced Airlines, and they are flying in and out of Crescent City nearby to Oakland and L.A., guess what, 7 days a week. We hear their plane go over, right? Yeah. Michelle Bupert, hello, Michelle Bupert, with our own vibrant local Curry County Chamber of Commerce. She does phenomenal things. Good for her. Nick and Lisa Rail, hello, knock, knock. And your PPA, or the Partnership for the Performing Arts, well, thank you. And lastly, dear co-host, Dr. Gigi Reed, MD, and I'm not going to put my own name in there. On behalf of KCIW, thanks to all of you. Okay, we're back in the studio. Well, we never went anywhere, but we're back in the studio listening to the story of JD, or James DeBottis, and hear his multiple talents that he has, and has been on the show multiple times with us. He's always got something cooking, something going on, and he's a big part of our local music scene. He's just so incredibly talented. So, what do you like the best? Do you like gigs? Do you like live gigs? Do you like?
Yeah, for sure. Especially like a good packed, good energy. Especially a rock show. A lot of people, I think, around here have never been to anything more than like a couple thousand people at like a local-ish venue. Even like the amphitheater in
the
Bedford,
Bricks.
I think is like 10,000 people or something like that.
The Bricks.
The
yeah.
Bricks.
The Bricks.
Yeah.
Brits.
Oh, the Brits, or whatever.
Something along those lines. Either way, usually bigger bands. I don't know what it is, but nowadays they seem to be avoiding this part of the world. Not just us, like all of Washington, Oregon, and California. I don't know what it is. Like all the bands we want to go see, we keep seeing they're all on the East Coast or Midwest, and they chill. We're kind of where they live now, and they're not touring outside of it too much. Only the biggest bands are going to gear up and other
they
stuff
have
like that.
bigger
So.
people. I mean, we are tiny, right?
Yeah. And it's.
so-
I mean, I'm talking even where I was in Portland. You'd be hard pressed to find a lot of bigger bands coming through there anymore. And when I was younger, that was like the place to go to see a lot of those bands. So it's.
So when
I
you
see it shifting, and that's why I tried to reserve from going on the road so much to let's try and be a little more centralized, like local.
You love weddings? Weddings just seem like a captive audience. And
I would love to do more.
Right.
I've only gotten to do a few over my lifetime, honestly, and it's always been a really fun time. And I've always been in the band, like playing for a wedding. But doing what we do now, we could do a big production. We could have a DJ come out. We have multiple people that we work with.
Yeah.
So that we can do multiple events.
Great
on the same
sound.
day.
You guys, on your karaoke thing that we've experienced, seeing you going live with Keith and Bobby, man, I mean, you're putting out a real show.
So do
Yeah,
you
we're
like
trying.
do you like the managing part better, or actually the participation?
I mean, I don't think anybody likes the full blown like responsibility part of it, because it is exactly that. Like the more people get involved, the more events get involved, the more mouths there are to feed, the more money you have to request in turn for that. And so in lieu of just doing the same thing and charging more for it, we're trying to stretch what we can do and do more things for the same price that maybe don't take as much effort. And doing karaoke, doing open mic stuff like that, it really helps. Like for me personally, because I'm a drummer, and a lot of time I have a lot of gear that I got to set up. I got an hour, setup between my actual drums and then all the electronics and the speaker systems that I bring.
Speaking of that, you gave up your full acoustic drum set for the electronic ones, right?
It's not that I've given it up. It's just that it's not. It's much easier and better for people's ears. Everywhere around here, really,
Because you
can
dial down the volume.
I can turn down an individual drum. I can turn down the entire sound itself. If I'm playing by myself and I have tracks going through, like people can tell me, "Hey, you're not loud enough," or "Hey, you need to turn up," or "Hey, the bass needs to go up." So
Back it up a little bit more. Tell the folks what you're talking about, because I didn't really, until I saw you, I think with Bloodline a year and a half ago, I said, "Oh, he's not playing with a real drum." It looked like a real drum.
Well, it's meant to, and there's a lot of different ones. So there's some electronic drum sets you can tell for sure those are not real drums. But I tried to find the one that was the most physically similar to a real drum set, so that when I sat down and played, I didn't have to have this huge learning curve. But specifically, I got electronic drums because you can make them quieter.
And when the stick hits that pad,
it's basically just you might as well be tapping on a table or on a surface.
And
What
you
are they
can
saying?
give him all kinds of sound, like symbols.
Anything,
or-
yeah. I mean, I make hip hop beats with people and assign sounds from my computer onto them. You can do melodic
Wow,
sounds
what a
or
trip.
samples to trigger, a backing track for a song. Like there's so many things
Right.
they can be used for. So even when I have an acoustic kit, I will still have electronic elements in there because it's just fun. It's a good
Wow,
time.
very cool.
That is so cool.
So what's coming up next for you?
Yeah, what's coming?
This Friday is going to be karaoke Porta Pints, South Beach. So that's
Okay.
this upcoming Friday.
Crescent City?
That's the 16th, yeah,
Yes, it
I
is.
believe so. And then
Friday night is 17th.
I'll be there solo on the 24th, just doing like rock and roll set or whatever. But I do a lot of requests, so it gets all over the place. People will ask for Mariah
Meaning
Carey or
solo,
whatever.
meaning what?
So I play on my electronic drum set kind of as like a one-man band, and then I find tracks for my set that I program at least that don't have any drums in them at all. So I
You
can
add the drums. It's very
I can play the song for one, which is cool, but then I can also add inflections and fills and stuff like that that aren't in the song to make it like my own. I do stick tricks and I have
I
the
was
light.
just
Yeah, your
gonna say,
stick
I remember
stick
your
tricks. He
stick-
does
You gotta
throw
give
his
people a reason to come
Swirl 'em.
see you, yeah. So
he throws his sticks up in the air and you catch them every time. We're all hoping you're going to drop it.
sometimes even I am. I think I'll like flick it harder. Sometimes be like, am I gonna drop a stick tonight? Like
Wow.
And it's a cool feeling, but at the same time, like I'm just as disappointed in myself when I do finally drop one. I have a bag of like 80 sticks over here. I maybe used one of them. You know what I mean? So
Do you autograph them and then give them away to?
I have been asked to do that, so I don't know why, but yeah, I've definitely had to do that. It's usually little kids. They really like it, and I always want to encourage them to
Right on.
play.
So what's your plan for spring, summer? Anything different other than expanding and
Yeah, that's all we're focused on really is just getting into as many pots as we can and teaming up with people. There's talks of like doing like some sort of a cooking competition, like a chowder off or something like that, where we might do music and entertainment for that. We're gonna do our own spring and summer events outdoors, just regardless, because it's pretty and we have the ability to do it ourselves, so we don't really
Right.
so
We
who's
know enough
promoting
vendors and
it?
stuff
What,
like that.
what do you mean you're
We'll
doing
we'll
your-
promote it ourselves,
Okay.
and then we'll get permission from people
What
that
they
own
go-
lots and stuff like that.
I like Battle of the Band themes. You know.
Yeah.
That's real hot now.
I'm actually gonna do the one that it's like the southern coast one over at the Treehouse like resort. Or
Oh yeah,
whatever.
we're in
It's in September.
Kirby and Kirby.
It's
Cave
Kirby-
Junction. Cave Junction.
yeah, it's like just past Cave or just before
Kirby.
Cave.
I think it's Kirby, where they got the
More
tree
than
forts up as you drive.
Yeah, it's literally like tree camping,
right.
but up in these cool tree houses. It's that same thing as Augustino's has at the treehouse.
I've
estates
never
up
been
there.
there.
It's so cool. It's
Is it?
suspended from like trees, so it's not damaging the structure of the tree at all. The building is not touching any part of that.
It's suspended.
It's completely suspended. So it's like it doesn't feel like a tree house, but that is what it is.
You're not allowed to bring a knife into that
I wouldn't.
facility.
Yeah.
A little sock.
Yeah, exactly. Where are we? I don't have my glasses on. I'm so wrapped up.
Where
in
do
what
you
is it?
see yourself in a few years?
Yeah.
That's actually like really up in the air because I know that there's lots of opportunities. So if they all work out and we keep growing and expanding and working with the different people that we want to work with, there's tons of things that we have going on behind the scenes that I can't really like talk about yet because they're not like confirmed, but
Right.
like just what we're talking about is really exciting. So if those things come to fruition and everybody's working together and doing good work, then I can't see any reason why I wouldn't still be here. Just
Right.
chipping away at
JDKR
it.
Productions. You're everywhere. We will do that. While you're going to set up for a little jam set,
Yeah,
we have got about 20 minutes, so we're going to go into this and listen to some of your original music so you can get that set up and going while we are preparing here. You're listening to KCIW 100.7 FM to the Doc and Jacques Radio Variety Show, and we are interviewing and have in the past and always up for a good show when James DeBottis or JD is in town. Next time we come on, bring Keith Roberts with
Yeah,
you.
we should.
Yeah.
I was going to say if we can, I don't know if we can do two, but we should have Keith and Bobby where we can split them up
We
between
can.
because they're my biggest partners, and Keith is the number one reason we've been able to keep adding more fuel to the fire for equipment, for just manpower and the man hours it takes to put in the work and everything else. Like he shows up when whenever I book a gig or whenever we're gonna do something, like he's always there. He
Who's
calls out.
is it Keith that's an Antidote?
Yeah, he's the bass player for Anecdote.
Right. Okay.
And then I think we're trying to work on another project as well now. That's just like we're just gonna keep them going.
You know
it's
John
covers or-
Mendoza,
Yeah,
like the King.
kinda like
he
Keith, yeah.
started as One King Entertainment.
Yeah.
and I could see you coming along in those lines.
We've
And
we've
he's-
definitely talked with those guys too. John's a cool
John
dude.
and Barbara and
yeah.
Birdie Finch, the photographer.
Yeah, Birdie just came and saw me recently. I was over at Enoteca and she was there, and just like, they're always just the nicest people. They're always
Yeah.
really supportive, and they
Right.
come up front and they dance with you and stuff. And they put requests on the board. I always leave a request list out, and so
Right on.
yeah.
Okay, what are we gonna hear? This is an original song that you're playing first. So.
Yeah, so I have some kind of like what I guess us musicians would consider to be like just generic backing tracks, but they're styled for exactly like what I want to play. So I have one that's more fusion style. I have one that's more ballad-esque, maybe like Pink Floyd-esque, if you want to call it
But
that.
wait, where's your drum set?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right?
He's playing the guitar.
I left it at home. It can't
Electric
fit in here, unfortunately.
All right.
But hey, maybe one of these days, yeah.
So what's fusion? Can you tell?
So I like to think of fusion, because I'm sure a lot of people have different, definitions of it, but I like to think of it as some mix between blues, jazz, and like modern meaning like 80s, 90s, like rock styles. They kind of bring it all together. And then there's everything from like soul influence, R&B influence. Like it just depends on what flavors they want to add in there, but it's all kind of under the veil of fusion. Just like food, it's like anything you fuse together, two different
Yeah,
styles.
there you go.
styles.
That's my kind of conversation.
Yeah, and it's just nice. Like I've heard the heaviest songs nowadays coming out with these new bands, and then all of a sudden you hear like a polka section, or you'll hear like an accordion in the part where there should never ever be an accordion, but it's like it sounds really cool.
Oh,
So
cool. All right, so what's the first one called, or what are we going to do?
I affectionately call this one Fuse, because it was supposed to be the start of like a group that I wanted to do that was like a fusion group, and we
Okay, fuse, like
Call it fuse.
strike a match.
yeah get the fuse going.
Kaboom. All right, James DeBottis. Are your fingers sore?
No, but if I do it for a couple hours, maybe.
Unbelievable. Your
Human?
your fingers were working
Yeah.
non-stop on that song Fuse, and that was James DeBottis live here at the KCIW and on videotape.
Thank you.
Now, thanks to Michael Gorse. I appreciate you guys in the sound booth. How did it sound there? Did you give me a thumbs up there? Okay, he's giving me a thumbs
All
up.
good?
Sounded good. Okay, we have exactly 10 minutes, so
Oh, look at that.
we want to, maybe do 2 more if we could fit it in.
Yeah, I think I got a 4-minute 23 and a 4:15. So
Okay.
right on time.
Get on it right there. Okay.
All right. Well, this
James
one's called
DeBottis.
Flowers. So how about that?
JDKR. You can find them JDKR Productions on Facebook and the internet. right, the
They're
fastest
very
fingers
nice.
around, and he is working the fretboard. I must say that is pretty amazing. Now we have time for maybe a 4-minute one.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Let's jump. Let's get.
I didn't even pause it for.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, right.
James DeBottis here at KCIW 100.7 FM.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
righty, folks.
Super cool.
Cutting it
Very-
close, but thank
We
you,
are cutting
James DeBottis.
Heck yeah.
Please reach out to him. Come down and see you in Crest City or at Oxenfree in Brookings every Tuesday night and every second. And
Yeah, the first and third Friday of every month we'll be at South Beach Porta Pines doing karaoke.
all right.
Very
okay,
cool.
Doc, we need
Well,
to say goodbye.
I know we don't have time for our fun,
Fun time.
and con-
Save for next week. How about that?
All right.
Hey, you know, they did catch, they did bust the devil. They got him on possession, just to let you know.
Okay, well, fine. You
Shoot.
got another joke, and I
All right.
can get a quote in.
Okay.
Well, you know, everybody's talking about pro teen, but I want to know about the amateur teens, you know.
Amateur shoot. All right.
Okay.
You have been listening too.
Hey, wait.
Oh, okay. That's your part. All right.
Golly, you were awful today. Okay, I got my glasses on. You have been listening to the Doc and Jacques show on KCIW 100.7 FM in Brookings, Oregon. We hope you enjoyed our show as much as we have learning about James DeBottis and his music.
Yes, sirree. Peace and prosperity to everyone out there. Thanks again, Tom Bozak, Linda, Ray Simon, Michael Gorson, all the people that make this syndicated show possible to be aired up and down our beautiful coast. Mail us if you know of a talented, interesting person that might join us on the show by sending it to docandjacques@gmail.com. Okay, stay tuned for Tony Dorso. Thanks again, James.
Of course.
JD. Thanks, Michael.
Goodbye.
Bye. I'm riding into the sunset.